Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry joins us now. First of all, Congressman, before we get into those issues, I want to get your reaction to the death of former President Jimmy Carter.
Well, Jimmy Carter certainly put his money where his mouth is. He was a champion for peace and for neighborly love, and I think that, and I hope that that's how he will be remembered. Of course, he came into office at a tumultuous time politically, and of course, internationally dangerous for the United States of America with the occurrences in Iran and around the globe. And but I think he will best be remembered for rolling up his sleeves and being involved, not only just championing, but being involved in something like Habitat Humanity, a legacy which lives to this very day.
It does indeed. All right, next one, Congressman. President-elect Trump asking the Supreme Court to put a pause on the upcoming TikTok ban. He wants his administration to pursue a negotiated resolution. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I think we all agree, including President Trump, that TikTok poses a national security risk. And as you remember, when he was in office as the president, he was the first one to try and to deal with that. But I think this is simply a point of leverage in negotiation, obviously, with the Communist Party of China, which sees the United States as an adversary. And I think the president would like to retain, as we call in the Army, the freedom of maneuver on this to get the best outcome for everybody, and to allow the free speech component of this argument to prevail, while at the same time ensure that China doesn't have a lead on us on a national security subject where they can use that platform to censor and throttle different media, different viewpoints that are favorable to the CCP and anti-American. I think that's where the president wants to be.
Yes. Very good. All right, gets to this issue, of course, it's one we're all talking about. New York Congressman Mike Lawler warning against an ongoing fight for the House Speaker role. Listen to this.
Yes, and yes. The fact is that Mike Johnson inherited a disaster when Matt Gaetz and several of my colleagues teamed up with 208 Democrats to remove Kevin McCarthy, which will go down as the single stupidest thing I've ever seen in politics. With that said, removing Mike Johnson would equally be as stupid. The fact is that these folks are playing with fire, and if they think they're somehow going to get a more conservative speaker, they're kidding themselves. Mike.
Well, some strong statements there. Congressman, do you support Speaker Johnson?
Well, I would say this. First of all, in the annals of the stupidest things, I think my friend Mr. Lawler voted to reduce our majority by one by kicking out a member of his own delegation who had not been convicted in a court. So, look, the criticism goes around, and it's apt for probably every member. That having been said, what we can't have is the disaster of what we've had over the last year and a half of having more Democrats voting for massive bills than Republicans under a Republican-led House. And as these things always go right up to the wire, people are going to negotiate for different positions, but things have to change. And I think that Speaker Johnson, he understands that. And if he's going to be Speaker, things are going to have to change. We have to be able to move the Trump agenda. We still need 60 votes in the Senate, and most of those Democrats are not going to be for the Trump agenda. The Speaker has not been artful in navigating that to date. So what's going to change to get the Trump agenda accomplished? I think that's where a lot of members, or at least enough members, are. But I do feel that I'm confident it's going to work out one way or the other, and we're going to get the president his election confirmed, and then move on with the nominations and the rest of his agenda.
Congressman Scott Perry of Pennsylvania. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us on this Monday. We really do, as always, appreciate it.